Good evening, and welcome to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm Nicodemus, and I will be your host as we take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And remember, none of this is financial advice.
And it's 10 p.m. on a Monday, May 15th, 2023. And welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we offer no sponsors, no agenda, and no BS. The U.S. Department of Commerce has banned Ethereum developer Virgil Griffith from exporting for 10 years. He's currently serving a 5-year prison sentence, and that ban will last until April 12, 2032. The ban limits his involvement in international trade and business. Virgil Griffith was convicted on April 12, 2022 for violating the International Emergency Economic Powers Act by providing unauthorized services to North Korea and evading U.S. sanctions. U.S. Attorney Jeffrey Berman accused Griffith of knowingly sharing technical information with North Korea to aid them in money laundering and evading sanctions. And as a result, Griffith was sentenced to 63 months in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. He must also pay a $100 assessment and a criminal fine of $100,000. Under the Export Control Reform Act, individuals convicted of specific offenses, including violating the IEEPA, can be denied export privileges for up to 10 years. This denial may result in the revocation of licenses or authorizations granted by the Bureau of Industry and Security, which is a part of the Commerce Department. The imposed bar on Griffith prevents him from participating in transactions related to commodities, software, or technology regulated by U.S. export laws. This denial of export privileges applies to him as a U.S. citizen. Initially denied bail, Griffith was eventually granted a bond order of $1 million in late December of 2019. In October of 2020, he filed a motion to dismiss the conspiracy charges. He argued his conference presentation in April of 2019 contained publicly available information and did not qualify as providing a service to North Korean officials. So, Griffith was sentenced to 5 years in prison for giving a presentation on cryptocurrency to a group of North Korean officials. And now he's appealing his conviction. I mean, come on, Virgil, what were you thinking? You're an American citizen, and you're giving a presentation on a technology that could be used to help North Korea evade sanctions? Help them fund nuclear weapons? And now you're trying to blame your lawyers for your conviction? I mean, come on, Virgil, you're an adult. You're responsible for your own situation. You just can't blame your lawyers for everything. And besides, your lawyers did a pretty good job. They did get you a 5-year sentence instead of the life sentence that you could have gotten. So maybe you should be thanking them instead of blaming them. Here's some advice. Next time you want to give a presentation on cryptocurrency, do it to a group of people who aren't going to use it to fund an illegal nuclear weapons program. Otherwise, you might find yourself in trouble. I want to thank you so much for listening tonight. I would really appreciate it if you could like, follow, and subscribe to the podcast. It's a huge help in trying to grow the show, so thank you. The DOJ's crypto czar is targeting DeFi hackers and exploiters due to increasing illicit crypto activity. They focus on thefts and hacks in the DeFi space, especially chain bridges. This crackdown could potentially impact the crypto markets. The DOJ considers it a significant concern as North Korean state-sponsored hackers are prominent in the DeFi space. According to Cointelegraph, those hackers stole around $630 million to $1 billion worth of crypto assets in 2022. This situation could have a substantial impact on the crypto markets. In February of 2022, the DOJ appointed Eun Young Choi, an experienced prosecutor, as the inaugural director of the NSET. The department stated that the NSET would focus on addressing cryptocurrency-related issues, cybercrime, money laundering, and forfeiture. The DOJ emphasized its focus on mixing and tumbling services, but did not mention DeFi platforms previously. Choi reiterated this stance at the Financial Times Crypto and Digital Assets Summit, stating that the DOJ is pursuing crypto firms involved in criminal activities or those that facilitate money laundering. According to Choi, targeting the platform itself would make it harder for criminals to profit from their actions, having a multiplying effect. She highlighted the substantial growth in the use of crypto assets for illicit purposes in the last 4 years. Recent times have seen a series of attacks on DeFi platforms. On March 13th, the largest DeFi hack of the year occurred when Euler Finance suffered a flash loan attack, resulting in the theft of over $196 million worth of crypto. In November of 2022, an exploiter allegedly capitalized on the low liquidity of the DeFi trading platform Mango Markets to drain their funds. A hacker injected $5 million into the platform, causing a significant rise in the Mango token price from 3 cents to 91 cents, resulting in their Mango holdings reaching $423 million. Using various tokens, including Bitcoin, Sol, and Serum, that exploiter obtained a loan for $116 million, depleting the liquidity of Mango Markets entirely. These exploits and others like this can potentially impact the crypto markets by eroding trust and confidence in DeFi platforms, leading to cautious investor sentiment and increased regulatory scrutiny. The G7 has expressed support for adopting upcoming crypto asset regulations proposed by the FSB and recommendations on central bank digital currencies by the IMF. During a meeting in Nagata, Japan, finance ministers and central bank governors discussed supervising crypto assets. The upcoming G7 summit will likely include a joint statement endorsing stricter crypto regulations. As the G20 president, India has advocated for coordinated global crypto regulations. The G20 stated that upcoming international crypto rules would be based on a synthesis paper created by the IMF and the FSB. The G7 has indicated its intention to adhere to the FSB's standards. This announcement expressed anticipation for the FSB's finalized recommendations by July 2023 and a commitment to implementing regulatory frameworks for crypto assets and stablecoins consistent with the FSB's guidance. The G7 comprises the US, UK, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan. There's additional participation from the European Union, Australia, and India. The G7 expressed support for the travel rule, which requires sharing information on fund transfers between financial institutions to combat illicit activities. They anticipate the progress report on the travel rule implementation. The G7 will consider the IMF's forthcoming recommendations on central bank digital currencies. And speaking of CBDCs, the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe sold $39 million worth of gold-backed digital tokens, despite the International Monetary Fund's warning. The central bank received 135 applications for a total of $39 million to purchase the cryptocurrency. This sale may have an impact on the markets. The Zimbabwean dollar is officially valued at 362 Zimbabwean dollars to $1 US, but it's higher on the street. The gold-backed crypto tokens introduced in April are backed by 139.57 kilograms of gold. The sale of these tokens took place from May 8th to May 12th. The sale aims to stabilize the country's economy and to address the depreciation of the local currency against the US dollar. The tokens were sold for $10 apiece for individuals and a minimum of $5,000 for corporations and other entities. They have a minimum vesting period of 180 days and can be held in e-gold wallets or on e-gold cards. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe will conduct a second round of digital token sales. Applications are requested to be submitted this week for settlement by May 18th. Bank Governor Dr. John Manguda stated that the issuance of gold-backed digital tokens aims to increase the availability and the accessibility of value-preserving instruments in the economy. The Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe's decision to introduce a gold-backed currency follows a caution from the IMF. According to a Bloomberg report on May 9th, the IMF spokesperson emphasized the need for a careful assessment to evaluate the benefits and potential risks associated with a gold-backed digital currency. The IMF suggests that Zimbabwe should focus on liberalizing its foreign exchange market instead. This caution from the IMF and the differing approaches may create uncertainty in the crypto markets, potentially affecting market sentiment and investor confidence. Zimbabwe has faced long-standing challenges with currency volatility and inflation. After experiencing hyperinflation, the Zimbabwean dollar was reintroduced in an effort to revive the local economy, but volatility persisted. Samsung Electronics has partnered with South Korea's central bank to study offline payments using central bank digital currencies. the Bank of Korea and Samsung signed an MOU to research offline CBDCs. They will focus on exploring the offline functionalities of the central bank digital currency issued by the central bank. Samsung joined the bank's second phase of CBDC testing, focusing on CBDC's retail use. The first stage of the CBDC research tested fundamental functions like issuance, distribution, and redemption. This new MOU focuses on testing the potential of a South Korean CBDC for remittances and payments using Samsung mobile devices' near-field communications instead of the internet. Samsung Electronics VP Eun Choi stated that the collaboration enables the application of Samsung's advanced security technology in the digital currency realm. This partnership between Samsung and the central bank could affect the crypto markets as it advances offline CBDC technology, which may influence the broader adoption and usage of digital currencies. Samsung has reportedly achieved hardware certification for security at an International Standard Criteria Evaluation Assurance Level 6 grade. This certification encompasses 7 levels of security functional requirements. And while Samsung shows interest in CBDCs, it recently prohibited employees from using generative AI tools like ChatGPT on company-owned devices and internal networks. I can't really blame them. This is kind of the stuff I've been worrying about at my day job, because there was an incident where a staff member uploaded sensitive code. See, they were looking for the AI to help them fix this code, but when you upload that sensitive code, it gets put into their permanent database. So Samsung implemented a policy banning generative AI tools on their platform. Now, according to an internal memo, Samsung headquarters is evaluating security measures to ensure a secure environment for utilizing generative AI, aiming to enhance team member productivity and efficiency. Meanwhile, major banks like JP Morgan, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, and Citigroup have also restricted the usage of generative AI tools. And we're gonna stay with South Korea for our next story too. South Korean prosecutors raided a couple of cryptocurrency exchanges. This search was part of an investigation into lawmaker Kim Nam-kook's digital assets. The Seoul Southern District Prosecutor's Office led the search. They searched Upbit and BitThumb. They were looking for transaction records and other things like that. Now, Kim uses Upbit and BitThumb for his digital wallets. Kim left his political party on May 14th, right after the authorities raided. He left because of claims about odd crypto activities. These happened while he was making laws about digital assets in 2022. Kim wrote on Facebook that he didn't want to cause trouble for his party members because of his crypto problems. He said that the media reports about him were not accurate, and he promised to tell the truth. Kim supported a law delaying a 20% tax on crypto profits from 2023 to 2025. The Korea Times said on May 8th that Kim sold more than $4 million in crypto. This was before the travel rule was implemented by the Financial Action Task Force. We were just talking about that earlier. Kim said that he didn't sell his digital assets. He said that he moved them to a different exchange. He said that he didn't have to tell anybody about this. According to Yonhap, Kim had about 800,000 Wemex coins in 2021. This was worth $4.5 million. BitThumb is one of the exchanges where Kim might have kept his money. Recently, local regulators have been watching it closely. In December of 2022, the main shareholder of the exchange died. This happened after he was accused of stealing and changing the stock price. On January 10th, less than a month later, the regulators searched BitThumb's offices. On February 2nd, the person who owns the exchange was arrested by South Korean police. He was charged with stealing. There was also a warrant for his arrest for not doing his job, changing the market, and making fake transactions. I tell you what, I wish I could issue an arrest warrant for people for not doing their job. Now, many things are going on in South Korea. The country's authorities are working hard on local crypto activities. On April 24th, the Bank of Korea got the power to check on crypto businesses. So that means that banks can now ask for crypto transaction data from exchanges in the country. Now, 2 days after, lawmakers looked at new rules for crypto. These new rules suggest tough punishments. They also give the Financial Services Commission the power to check on and manage any activity, quote, related to digital assets. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating, or maybe a review. And in the meantime, We'll see you tomorrow night.